So some cells present towards the inner side, I can say that side, form the root cap. Outer side form the epidermis. And in the center form vascular tissues. So depending upon the location of the cell, their function, their differentiation takes place. The cells present outer side of that meristematic tissue in the root apex form the root cap. The peripheral cells form epidermis. The central cells form the cortex and the vascular tissues such as xylem and phloem. Students understand? I think you are following, right? So that differentiated cells, their function depends upon their location. So in that location, depending upon its function, they differentiated. Some becomes root cap, some becomes epidermis, some becomes cortex, some becomes vascular tissues. Accordingly, they will differentiate it. So the differentiation depends upon their location. The differentiation depends upon their location. Hope you understand. Okay. Right. So this is very, very important. So far I told you regarding these three concepts: differentiation, de-differentiation, redifferentiation, and finally what is the meaning of growth in plants is open and differentiation in the plants is open. Students, following all of you, do you have any doubts now? This is very, very, very important because you may have confusion. Now I hope everybody is understood clearly, comprehensively. Do you agree? Especially differentiation, redifferentiation are very important. Yes. Shall we go for the next one, that is plasticity? Plasticity, yes. So next one is plasticity. What is meant by plasticity? And before that, one point is also there, that is development process. After that, I will tell you plasticity. Development in plants. Process of development in plants. Process of development in plant. What is meant by development? The sequence of stages starting from seed germination, ending with senescence, starting with germination of a plant to senescence. Senescence is called development. Development include all the events starting from germination until the senescence is called as development. Starting from germination, ending with senescence is called as development. All the stages called development. That means development includes growth plus differentiation. Growth plus differentiation is equal to development. Growth plus differentiation is equal to development. So I will show you the changes or the sequence of different stages of growth in plants. First, You know, embryonic cells all are meristematic. First, meristematic cell. Meristematic cell undergo plasmatic growth. Plasmatic growth means increase in the size. Increase in the size of the cell. Plasmatic growth. During plasmatic growth, the size of the cell increases. Increase in the size of the cell is called plasmatic growth. First meristematic cell is present. The cell grow and increase its size. This is called plasmatic growth. And after plasmatic growth, the cell may gradually become mature, or it becomes divide and it becomes again meristematic. Understand that point? Meristematic cell undergo plasmatic growth, then divide, and the divided cells becomes meristematic. Or this cell becomes undergo elongation. Cell elongation. Cell elongation. Then cell differentiation. Then cell maturation. Maturation. As a result, mature cell undergo senescence. Senescence leads to death of the cell. Death. See students here, this is the correct sequence. This is the correct sequence. So what is development? I told you, all the events or the sequence of stages from germination to senescence is called development. This development include growth plus differentiation. Growth plus differentiation. Okay, clear? Now, life starts with meristematic cells. All embryo contain meristems. First, the meristematic cell. For example, this is also applicable for a tissue or an organ also. I am taken here is a meristematic cell. You can take it as a meristematic tissue or an organ. First, this undergo plasmatic growth and divide and form two cells. The two cells again become meristematic. The two cells may become meristematic, or it undergo maturation. During maturation, the cell that undergo plasmatic growth become elongated first, enlargement, cell enlargement. Cell differentiation next. After cell differentiation, the cell becomes a mature cell. The cell becomes mature cell. And this mature cell undergoes senescence. This mature cell undergoes senescence, and finally that leads to death of the cell. This is the development process in plants. Hope you understand. So this is the correct sequence. Meristematic cell undergo plasmatic growth. After that, it may again becomes meristematic, or that cell become gradually mature. After plasmatic growth is over, the cell divide and becomes, both the cells become meristematic, or either one cell or both the cells gradually becomes mature. During maturation, several stages are there. First, the cell undergo elongation, then cell differentiation, then cell maturation. After maturation, cell become mature cell, and now this mature cell undergoes senescence. Gradually, the cell is in senescence stage, becomes dead. Hope you understand, students. This is the sequence of different stages. This is the sequence of different stages. Right. So now we go with the next one, that is plasticity. Plasticity. What is meant by plasticity? Plants have ability to follow different pathways according to changes in the development or due to changes in the environment. This ability to follow different pathways is called plasticity. Ability to follow different pathways due to changes in the development or due to changes in the environment is called as plasticity. Do you understand the meaning of plasticity, all of you? Ability of plants to follow different pathways according to the change of the environment or due to development or due to changes in the development process is called as plasticity. Is called plasticity. Okay, students? Right. The best example of plasticity is heterophyly. Heterophyly is the example of plasticity. Best example of plasticity is heterophyly. Formation of two types of leaves on the same plant is called heterophyly. Hetero, different, phylum, leaf. Most of the plants, almost all plants are isophylous. Almost all plants are isophylous. Isophily. In any plant, if you take, only one type of leaves are present. Maybe the leaf is small when it is in young stage. The leaf is large when it becomes mature. But the size, the shape of the leaf is same. That is what is called isophily. But in some plants, on the same plant, two types of leaves are present. Or during the young stage, one type of leaf is present. At maturity, the shape of the leaf may changes. That is due to either environmental changes or due to developmental changes. So such formation of two types of leaves on the same plant is called as heterophyly. Heterophyly is best example for plasticity. And this heterophyly is of two types mainly. One is developmental heterophyly. and environmental heterophily. Environmental heterophily. This is also called ecological heterophily. Ecological heterophily. So heterophily, two types: environmental heterophily, ecological heterophily. Now let us see what is meant by developmental heterophily. In some plants, during the development, in the young stage, one type of leaves are present. During maturity, one type of leaves are present. On the same plant, the shape of leaf is one type in the young stage, and the shape changes at maturity. Shape changes at maturity. For example, you can see like this: cotton, coriander, and larkspur. This scientific name, delphinium. In these three plants, cotton, coriander, and larkspur, young leaves shape is different and mature leaf shape is different. One type of leaves, that is a shape, is present in the young stage, and in maturity the shape of the leaves changes. One type of leaves are present in the young stage and different types of leaves are present at the maturity. So two types of leaves depending on the development. So during young stage, one type of leaves, at development, at developmental stage, it becomes another type of leaf. This is due to developmental changes. This is called as developmental heterophily. You have to see the diagrams also, and what shape are present in coriandrum, cotton, and larkspur, you have to see, and those diagrams are also scanned and given in the exam. So therefore, you have to observe the diagrams, all of you. The leaves shape, one shape of leaf is present in the young development, and at maturity, the shape of the leaf is changed into another type. So as the shape of leaves are according to the development, that is why developmental heterophily. Second one is environmental heterophily. One type of leaves are present in the water environment, and another type is present in the aerial environment. For example, the best example for this is buttercup. Its botanical name is ranunculus. Botanical name of buttercup plant is ranunculus. Yes, that's why I am telling. Young juvenile plants show one type of leaves, mature plants show one type of. You can also say like that. Okay. So the best example for environmental heterophily is buttercup. Buttercup scientific name ranunculus. Ranunculus is an amphibious plant. Part of the plant is inside the water, part of the plant is above the water. Part of the plant is inside the water like this. Part of this is water level, above the water and below the water. Half of the plant is inside water and a part is outside the water. So in the part of the plant that is present in the water environment, one shape of leaves, generally dissected leaves are present. The leaves present inside the water, generally dissected. and above the environment, that is above the water environment, that is aerial part, normal leaves are present. So that means environment will decide. Water environment, one type of leaf, one shape of leaves, and aerial environment, one shape of leaves appear. So due to the environmental changes, in the water part, one shape of leaves, in the air part, one shape of leaves are present, therefore it is called as environment. Because of the influence of the environment, it changes. That is why it is called environmental heterophyly. Students, to understand, example of developmental heterophyly: cotton, coriander, and larkspur. Example of environmental heterophyly: buttercup. Scientific name ranunculus. Do you understand? Do you understand, all of you? Right. Finally, we go with the factors affecting growth and development of a plant. Next one is factors affecting growth and development. You know very well, growth of a plant is influenced by several factors. Growth of a plant is influenced by several factors. All the factors are broadly divided into two types: external factors and internal factors. External factors and internal factors. So the growth and development of a plant is controlled by several factors. All the factors are broadly divided into two types: one external factors and another one internal factors. Internal factors. Generally, the factors that influence growth process in plants are, external factors are light, temperature, CO2, etc. All these are external factors. They influence the plant growth and development to some extent. Along with that, several internal factors are also influence the growth process. They include the internal factors, also called plant factors, you can say, plant factors, and these are broadly classified into two types. Internal factors are intrinsic factors. External factors are extrinsic factors. You can call also external factors are extrinsic factors, internal factors are intrinsic factors. Internal factors are again divided into two types: intracellular intrinsic factors. Intracellular intrinsic factors and intercellular. Try to underline here. Intra, here inter. Intercellular intrinsic factors. Intercellular intrinsic factors. So, growth of a plant is influenced by several factors. All the factors are broadly divided into two types: external factors are extrinsic factors and internal factors are intrinsic factors. Light, temperature, carbon dioxide, water, oxygen, etc. all are comes under extrinsic factors. Intrinsic factors include two types: intracellular intrinsic factors and intercellular intrinsic factors. Intercellular intrinsic factors. Intercellular intrinsic factors. Among these, genetic factors are comes under intracellular factors. Very important. Intrinsic factors, intracellular intrinsic factors that influence growth and development in plants are genetic factors. Genetic factors. So genetic factors are intracellular intrinsic factors. Intracellular intrinsic factors. Next, intercellular intrinsic factors include chemicals. Chemicals, nothing but plant growth regulators. Plant growth regulators. They are PGRs. PGRs. Auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, ethylene. All these 5 hormones are comes under chemical factors, nothing but plant growth regulators. They are called as PGRs. So, intercellular intrinsic factors that influence plant growth are PGRs. Intracellular intrinsic factors that influence plant growth are genetic factors. And external or extrinsic factors that influence growth and development are light, temperature, carbon dioxide, etc. These are the factors that will influence, that affect plant growth and development, students. So up to this, your syllabus is for coming examination. So plant growth and development, starting to up to factors that influence plant growth and development. So students, I think you are following right. I hope you understand, all of you. I hope you understand, all of you, each and every point comprehensively. Today I told you different aspects like what is meant by differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation, what is, why growth is open, what is meant by growth, differentiation is also open. Then I told you what is the development process, what is plasmatic growth, sequence of stages, and then plasticity. What is the best example of plasticity? What is heterophilia? How many types of heterophilia are present? And finally, the factors influence growth and development. How many types of factors are there? What are extrinsic factors? What are intrinsic factors? How many types of intrinsic factors are there? What are intracellular intrinsic? What are intercellular intrinsic? So genetic factors are comes under which one? And plant growth regulators are comes under which factors? So I have given a comprehensive account as far as NEET is concerned, students. I hope you are followed well. Do you have any doubts right now? So with this, your syllabus completed, students, for the coming exam. Okay. Thank you, and thank you very much to one and all. Continue in the next class. Thank you, students.